Welcome, welcome. It is Thursday, September the 11th, 2025. I'm Chief Meteorologist Tim Pandages. This is Hurricane Hub Live, folks. And out there tonight, we've got a couple areas to talk about, the Eastern Pacific and then over into the Atlantic. There's one area of interest to talk about, and that's what we'll discuss tonight on HHL. An area of interest in the Atlantic that's got a low chance of developing over the next 7 days or so. Could become our next named system, which is Gabrielle. A lot will have to come together for that to happen, though. And then a new tropical depression has recently formed in the Eastern Pacific. We talked about this yesterday, an area of interest that was had a high chance of developing. It'll likely be named Mario next. This would be the 13th named storm out in the Eastern Pacific Basin, and it is forecast to become a hurricane. It would be the 8th hurricane so far this season in the Eastern Pacific. For comparison, the Atlantic has one hurricane so far, and of course that was Major Hurricane Aaron about 3 weeks ago now. All right, September the 11th, here we are, just a day past the climatological peak of the season. Pretty much September as a whole runs more active than normal. It's the most active month, and even the first half of October is still pretty active as well. And there are signals there lining up that we would see more activity kind of flaring up for the second half of September and into October, being a backloaded season like we've seen the past couple of seasons. Tropical satellite not showing a whole lot out there. There is this cluster of thunderstorm activity, a tropical wave there that you can see bubbling up and then just kind of falling apart. And that's pretty much been what we've seen with most tropical waves here. We had Invest 91L just a week ago that at one time had a 90% chance of developing and then just completely fell apart with just atmospheric conditions totally not conducive for development. That may be what happens with this as well. If it does get tagged as an Invest, it'd be Invest 92L. It hasn't gotten to that stage yet. It's still got low chances here over the next week, and it is just a tropical wave that is now just exiting the coast of Africa, hitting the Atlantic, just to the south and east of the Cabo Verde Islands. Pretty strong signal on modeling for this to develop down the road there, but there's got to be a lot to fall into place here for this to take advantage of what conducive conditions there may be in place there. It's just been much too stable in the Atlantic Basin over the last couple of weeks, really, since Farnan, which was, I think, 12 days ago now. All right, let's go through the model comparisons here, looking at both the GFS and the European models. We have to jump out several days on the modeling here to start to see any semblance of any organization, really. We get out to next Tuesday, and we've got a kind of an open wave still here trying to organize at this point in time, still well to the east of the Leeward Islands. And notice modeling here does start to try to develop something, but it recurves out to sea well before it gets anywhere close to Bermuda. Bermuda's right there. So this would likely not be any threat to land if it does follow this path. A lot can obviously change between now and 10 days from now. But yesterday we showed this as well. It also showed a recurve, although a little bit later was the recurve. It was a little closer to Bermuda. This go around, it is much farther to the east, recurving much earlier. We'll see what plays out. Long-range outlook here from the Climate Prediction Center still does hint, again, this came out on Tuesday, does still hint at some moderate chances of development here within the next 2 weeks. And then going out 3 weeks to wrap up the month of September still highlights the main development region for low risk. And even out into the southwest, Western Caribbean, Southern Gulf, we could have a Central American gyre trying to get going here and may spit out an area of energy that could try to develop there. But no real pronounced signals right now for our next named storm. Next name on the list is Gabrielle. Out in the Eastern Pacific, we've got the remnants of what was Kiko. But we've also got another system here. This is this cluster of thunderstorm activity that now has been tagged as Tropical Depression 13E. Expected to become a named storm that would be Mario, and strengthening to become a Category 1 hurricane, maxing out with winds at 80 miles per hour by the time we get to early next week. And this would be, again, the 8th hurricane of the season. Right now, track does keep it away from land, but we'll see what happens here as we get farther out in time. Right now, it's only moving at 5 miles per hour, so very, very slow. All right, next name on the list, I told you, is Mario, 13th named storm of the season in the Eastern Pacific. And it would be, if it does become a hurricane, be the 8th of the season there. All right, coming up after a quick break, we'll have tropical trivia. Stick around. All right, welcome back to Hurricane Hub Live. Tropical trivia question from yesterday was, tropical systems can also spawn tornadoes. Which storm spawned the most? Was it Francis, Ivan, Rita, or Milton? Back in 2004, it was Hurricane Ivan. It holds the record for that. 120 tornadoes over 9 states after that system made landfall. All right, tonight's question, name the storm to make the latest U.S. landfall of the calendar year. All right, was it Zeta, Nicole, Laura, or Kate? The answer coming up tomorrow night on Hurricane Hub Live. Remember, we are here 7 nights a week at 8 p.m. for the latest updates on the tropics. We'll see you back here on Friday.